Hey everybody, Eddie J on Crypto here. Hope you're having a great day. We have a few things to speak about. We've got PayPal, which is changing how they actually handle, or not how they handle, but changing some of the things that they will actually cover in their seller protection policy. And basically, if you're selling an NFT for over $10,000 or $10,000 and above, disqualified. So be mindful if you're trying to collect via PayPal, how much that's going to be, because that could be a very big deal for you. Something else that's going on, which is bigger, much bigger. Colorado is looking to actually accept crypto um, for tax payments. Now, it sounds like a great idea. It's not. It's not easy to do. They're currently looking for companies to actually handle the crypto transactions, and I think that's how they're going to solve the problem that Ohio and Seminole County, Florida had, where they actually tried this as well, and it didn't work out. So they scrapped those plans. But if you actually have a company take in the crypto for you, I guess they would. I guess one of the things they would do is flip it to fiat and then give that to the state. Cool beans, off to the races. If that's the way it would work, that could possibly do it. So that could be a really cool thing. Just really depends on how it hits the books, and with fluctuations as it is. If that's a 3-minute process, does it hit at the right price? What happens if within that 3 minutes it drops 10%? So it's something to figure out. But let's suppose it all works out. Something that crossed my mind that I mentioned to my son is, so imagine all those companies out there that are dealing in a lot of cash. Um, think dispensaries for cannabis. They actually have to deal a lot in cash. How can they handle that? Well, they can actually change their business model, adopt a cryptocurrency business model, accept all that cash, and be okay with the state because they'd be able to pay their taxes with that cash. Right now, it's hard for them to do all those things, in the current federal environment because there are no regulations. So a lot of states are looking to figure out, how can we help figure this out, as well as if we're holding crypto, if the municipality is holding crypto, stands a chance that the crypto could go up, they could cash out, make money. So there are a lot of things that would have to be considered in doing that, but I think that's very interesting. Something else that we found out, about 4,068 of the major whales that are out there um, are basically holding illicit funds in cryptocurrency, about $25 billion worth. Huh. Now, governments around the world know about this. They know the wallets that are holding that money. And the question is, how do you track all of that? Like, you break it down into bits and bytes, because remember in New York, they captured a couple trying to launder $3.6 billion in crypto. So I have to find out if that money was actually laundered, or they caught them before, like they caught them trying to launder that money. So that's something to think about. But basically, it would be hard to actually get that money back, right? So if I'm buying goods, if I go buy a car and I pay in crypto, yes, I can see that that crypto left this wallet, went to that wallet, but who holds that wallet, and did you get, all that money? Did you get the car? Because, basically, as money laundering, right? I buy a car, then I go sell it for cash, whatever the cash is going to be. Boom! Now I've laundered the money because you can't track the money. So how does that happen? But countries around the world, legal authorities it would be they're really hard pressed to actually go extract that money. So I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know how they maneuver that illicit money, because you can track each coin, right? You can track each transaction that happens. It's out there in the public ledger. The question is, where does it land? How many times does it change hands? By the time it changes hands from here to there, do you know that it's illicit? And do you go after that person and take the money, whereby you're hurting that person or that entity and not the entity that actually was involved? So there are a lot of legalities that would happen with that. But I wanted to talk about Josh Gottheimer. He is a United States congressman who introduced a draft bill, basically after, I think after the OCC or SEC had said, set, ideas about regulations around stable coins. Well, he introduced a bill. The name of the bill is a Stablecoin Innovation and Protection Act. Basically, what it says is that qualified insured institutions and basically banks and non-banks can issue those coins. You have to be qualified to do so, and that the Office of the Comptroller of Currency, OCC, would have primary oversight in that space. So that's a lot to deal with. But what I found interesting is that it have to be FDIC secured or insured. Um, Only banks and qualified non-banks would be able to issue stable coins. You'd have to have those coins 100% backed by cash reserves, minimum 100% backed by cash reserves. And what else was it? There was one more thing. It does not restrict those entities from issuing other coins. It also does not restrict the SEC and a couple other agencies from actually looking over their shoulder to examine those coins. So it doesn't stop them from digging into those coins, which is kind of good, right? You'll have somebody that would be able to look over the shoulder of and say, well, is that a rug pull, or does it look like a rug pull, or whatever have you? They would create their rules, and we'd have to abide by their rules. But what's what's also added is, by my notes, the FDIC, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, would be required to develop a qualified stable coin insurance fund to back all that up. Take a deep breath. There's a lot there, but it's actually being, not given nods by the cryptocurrency space because it brings clear, regulation for a specific kind of coin, and it shows that we're getting there. Excuse me. So how long will it take for us to start to create regulation around other coins? Don't know. But you have states that are trying to help move that process forward. You've got Miami that has their own coin. Which is funny, right? They have their own I guess it would be considered your own currency, but because it's not legal tender, it's different. So as long as it's not legal tender, they won't get in trouble with the U.S. government because it says that you're not allowed to have legal tender except for gold and silver and the United States dollar in the United States. Um, Something else that I found interesting, I was zipping through, through the news and everything else, seeing like what's interesting to me, what do I think, is good. And something that I passed by was Canada asked the exchanges to stop processing Bitcoin and Ethereum, basically cryptocurrency transactions for the truckers that are uh, picketing, I guess, or whatever. Interesting move. I don't know how it's going to work out, but very interesting move. Um, Makes sense because they're receiving funds through that way, and they're able to use those funds to further do whatever it is they're doing, good, bad, or indifferent. I'm hearing not different ideas, but I'm hearing different information about who those truckers actually are. Some are real, a lot of them are fake. So I'm really just trying to understand what that really is, and at this stage, what are you actually protesting? So that's what we have in the news. Oh, one more little bit. So Venmo, a division of PayPal, I have to say this. I used to do some work for PayPal, so just to be above board, I was handling some project management. I actually did work for PayPal and Venmo, um, but nothing to do with this. But um, they've altered their prices for transactions under $200. So I would advise you, if you purchased Bitcoin using Venmo, I'd advise you to go take a look at their new fees and see how it would affect your normal transactions. Because remember, there's a fee to purchase, and there's probably a fee to maneuver it, to change it to another wallet. I looked at the fees and I was like, wow, that seems a little high to me, but could just be me. I mean, for $100, it's what is it, 2%? So, or 2.3% or something like that. So $2.30 if if you actually want to purchase crypto. So if you're buying 100, you have to put in 102.30 so that you'd get, well, a little bit more than that, so you can so you can actually get your $100 worth of Bitcoin. Um, so just be aware of the fees that you're paying when you purchase your cryptos, right? So there are uh, decentralized exchanges. There are centralized exchanges like Coinbase and FTX and everybody else. Oh yeah, let me go back to that point. So what they're doing with what Josh Gottheimer is saying is that um, I think it's a great step forward. But you're, like I said, he's actually getting nods from companies like Circle, FTX, and a couple other cryptocurrency companies that are saying, yeah, like that. So it's something, I think that's going to be a bill to actually pay attention to see how much it gets touched and stepped on and all that good stuff, to see if it actually traverses through and becomes law. I would think that they would try to move on that fairly quickly, given the speed that everything is moving at right now. I would hope so. But again, back to the whole Venmo thing, pay attention to where you're purchasing your cryptocurrencies. Um, Centralized exchanges, they say cost less, but do they really? Because they have fees coming in and purchasing, coming into the exchange, making a purchase on a currency, trading that currency. And sometimes when you put in fiat, they hold that fiat for a certain period of time, so on and so forth. So there are different ways to purchase your cryptos, but you should understand the fees that are involved in purchasing your cryptos. So just make sure that you understand that for each exchange or DEX that you're using, so that you're aware. Um, let's head over to the numbers and see what's going on in that space, because it's looking actually pretty good right now. So we've got Bitcoin just a little bit down, 44,100. It's been battling around that 44 number for a while. It's even touched 45 for a few times. Well, not a few times today, but over the past few days, it touched 45 a few times. I would like to see it go above 46, but it seems to hit a certain point, bounce around there, hit a certain point, bounce around there, hit a certain point. So like I said before, it's kind of stair stepping on its way up, because there hasn't been any huge news to make anything really pop. Ethereum seems to be going well, so we're mostly in a bouncy kind of space. Looking at Ripple, still at 84 cents, not bad considering they're still in a legal fight with the SEC. This is what I wanted to call out. We're still at 51 out of 100 in terms of fear and greed. So I think that bodes well for our immediate future. Now, looking at the coins in general, let's just refresh this page just to make sure. I mean, it does refresh, but every now and then, a browser can get stuck. But yeah, 40, you're looking at numbers that aren't so bad. But again, I don't just look at the 24-hour number. I'm actually looking all the way across at the 7-day, the 30-day, the 90-day, and the 1 year. And the reason why is because it tells a more full story about what that coin is actually doing. So you can have a really good pop today, right now, but that pop might not get you back to where you were. It's just a nice pop right now. So that's something that we should all be paying attention to. Now we do have winners and losers, and it looks like at a quick glance we have more winners than there are losers in this space right now. So let's take a look at the loser list and see, is there anything here? Again, SafeMoon, just not playing with it. So paying attention to that, I would be looking at Anchor Protocol to see what they're doing. Deso, no. Pocket Network, don't know them. CeeLo down 3%. Interesting. Their rank is 92, so not really looking at them either. Gala is down 2%. So to me, like I said, like I keep telling you guys, 2% to me is basically flat, or at least that's how I treat it. So notice you have the SafeMoon, you have the old SafeMoon, both in negative territory, but both seem to be at the same spot. It's nothing I hold, not trying to hold it, not even trying to do research in either one of them. Crypto.com is down 2% again. So it doesn't even make a difference to me. So to me, that basically means they've shaved just a tiny bit off of gains that they had yesterday and earlier today. But you do have some really good movers over here. As you can see, that everything just jumped. but you do have some pretty good movers over here that I would pay attention to. Here's Avalanche at 5.45%. So you have good movers over here that still the numbers are looking really good for, winners versus losers. But again, anything really, to me, anything under 5%, and you're basically, just flat. 5% and above in my book, it might not be yours, but in my book, 5% and above, I'm looking at you as either a winner or a loser on that day. So right now, I'm pretty happy with how the numbers are going. I'm fairly okay. I want to see more upward movement, but I think we're just going to stair step for a while until something phenomenal hits. I don't know what what that phenomenal thing will be that will hit. I know for Gala, I happen to peep that, they announced the dates for their Galaverse. That's supposed to launch. I don't have the date in my head, but I know that was news that they had put out there. So does that mean anything now, considering the price that they're at right now? Not much, right? They're at 33 cents. I need them to be way higher than 33 cents for me to be smiling and all happy. I do believe they'll get there. They're just not there right now. Like I said, I said yesterday, I still think that they're going to hit $1 by the end of the year. I mean, I think they have a high of 82 or 89 cents, maybe 83 cents. So you're looking at 3 times the number is what I really want them to get at. Again, I'm looking at things that can give me multiple and not just a percentage gain. So it's multiple first, then percentage gain for everything else, and then what that percentage would be. So Bitcoin would give me a percentage, Ethereum would give me a percentage, Solana would give me a percentage, but these other coins would give me room and space, like Polygon would give me room and space for a multiple gain versus just a percentage gain. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto. I hope this helps you. Go do your research every day. Go do your research. Understand what you're investing in and try to invest in the right vehicles. If you're not sure, hit like, subscribe, make sure you get a notification, and drop a note, and I'll do some research. I'll have me and my team do some research and see if that works. All right? Have a great day. Just remember Eddie J on crypto. Have a great one.